For decades, the liberal class was a defence against the worst excesses of power. But the pillars of the liberal class, the press, universities, the labour movement, culture, the Labour Party, and liberal religious institutions have collapsed as effective counterweights to the corporate state. In its absence, the needs of the poor, the working class, and even the middle class no longer have a champion. The death of the liberal class has permitted the rise of a new and terrifying political configuration. Although the liberal class was always comprised by its embrace of the power elite, as well as its deep hostility to radicals who questioned the assumptions and the structures of the elite, it nevertheless provided a mechanism to make incremental reform possible. But with the rise of the corporate state, the liberal class has been forced to distort its basic belief systems to support unfettered capitalism. The national security state, globalisation, and staggering income inequalities. Anyway, just check that out. That's all happening in America though, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, how's it going, troops? My name's Greg Moody, you have no legs, ha ha ha. Tonight we have a wonderful guest. We're hoping to steer things away from the political chat that we've been having, and we want to kind of embrace a wee bit of culture. So tonight we have a fabulous guest, not to be accused of cronyism once more. However, I would like to introduce to you the fabulous Becci Wallace.
Hi.
Hiya, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Brilliant. Did you see I've been working on a wee drawing here?
It's really good.
What do you think? Good?
I've been struggling to get to the meaning of it, but it's...
Alright, cool. Will we show the viewers?
Absolutely.
Right, okay. Let's just make sure everybody can see this. Right? Everybody see it? There we go. Oh, hang on. I think we need to just change one detail of it. What does that say there? Saltire. Saltire. Hang on. Let's have a wee look. Can you tell what it is yet? Can you tell what it is yet? So look. Satire! Ta-da! Just every day, you know, I discover another new passion. So how's things, Becci?
Good, yeah.
Good, aye. So I guess we'll just start off by assuming that some people watching this might not know either of us, eh? Right, okay, cool. Well, my name is Loki, and this is Becci Wallace, and Becci Wallace, as far as I know, is a pretty banging techno DJ.
That's right, yep. I've been DJing all No, I'm not a techno DJ, although I wish I was.
Right.
That would be fun.
Okay, now you're a singer-songwriter?
I'm a singer-songwriter, yep.
Right, you've been singing and songwriting for, well, a long time?
Many a moon.
Many a moon?
Aye, since I can remember speaking.
Okay, and so what are some of your kind of inspirations?
It's always about lyrics. So I guess my inspirations are those who kind of sing in that kind of narrative or poetry style. So people like Tom Waits and Joni Mitchell and Jeff Buckley and his da.
Jeff
like
Buckley and his da?
And his da.
My da could batter Jeff Buckley's da.
He'd have a hard time, but
I think my dad could well take Jeff Buckley's da, square go. Okay, right, so you've been working on your music for a long time, you've been playing around the Glasgow gig circuit. So last year you were all over the country, is that right?
I was all over this country and other countries. I was in Chicago.
Hang on, when you say country, do you mean Scotland or the United Kingdom? No pressure.
For legal reasons, the United Kingdom, but Scotland and here.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. That's a good diplomatic answer. We appreciate.
Good like that.
We appreciate that here. I like to talk to myself in the third person as well. You know, we are amused. Right. So you were talking about your gigs in where? Chicago.
Yeah, I was gigging and working with some other songwriters at the Columbia University in
Columbia
Chicago.
University, it's very prestigious.
It was prestigious, yeah. That's a university where they study kind of urban music and music arts and songwriting. If you wish to call it black music,
black
you can.
music, okay.
Yeah,
I like a bit of that black music. I like a bit of that black music, man. It's just something so like black about it. Anyway, right. So you were in Chicago, and then you were in
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone out there who's unaware, Toronto
It's a real place.
is a real place. It's a real place in Canada. So what was happening in Canada?
And again, I was with students and alumni of UWS and Davy Scott of UWS doing songwriting workshops and writing songs with people from the Harris Institute over there, which is a small music kind of college in Toronto, where they kind of specialise in adapting people's songwriting abilities through sharing ideas.
Brilliant. Well, it's always good to get together, and bat ideas about.
It's more productive than you could ever imagine, and something people don't do enough.
I love what's going on in Canada, especially they've got their own Obama thing going on, except it's not about
any guys like a wee junkie.
Any black, black. Oh, we better not say junkie. You better be careful there, man. You never know. You never know what might happen. It might not be okay for you to laugh at those things. But I was thinking instead of I know.
Is it like a card? Can we play this card?
This is when satire starts to fold in itself. You just begin to fall through the flow of your own understanding.
We have one wild card, it's just a question mark.
Aye. Did they really mean it?
Kind of cross the line a wee bit.
Aye, exactly.
Right, okay.
Right, so we're talking about, we're touching just quickly on the fact that, any crack smoker in Canada now can actually be the mayor. And I think that's
positive.
That's social mobility,
you know. Indeed, aye.
Social mobility for me is you coming to pick me up to take me to my dad's. Anyway, so I think before we rabbit on a bit too much, given that you're a singer-songwriter, I think people might just want to hear a wee bit of your music. So
I'd be more comfortable with that.
Aye, okay, well, it's all about making you comfortable. Do you want a wee blanket or anything?
Would you mind?
Right, cool. What do you think of the projector?
I think it's impressive.
It's alright, isn't it? If you look really closely at that bridge, you can see another version of me jumping off it like that. Oh my god, I'm too close.
Every time I drive over that bridge, I think about how one day when it was first built, one of those big things pinged down, and honestly, they had to close it.
Really? No, I don't remember.
Aye, one of them pinged down and they had to shut it.
I've never actually seen that bridge.
But it could be like an apocalyptic moment. Imagine you were driving and.
No, I never. I know it sounds quite apocalyptic. I mean,
it happens to me every time I drive over it in my mind.
I've never took a look at the bridge, man. I'm one of these Glaswegians that doesn't look up. You know what I mean? So I just kind of stare forlornly at the pavement or the black water. So I can't actually.
It's a beautiful, beautiful mind you've got.
Yeah, I tell you, man. I tell you, that's the way it is. However, would you like to introduce your first track?
Yeah. This is a song that I wrote a few years ago, I think. And it's called Seek Me Out.
You may want to go over there then if you're going to play it for us.
Okay.
See you later. So, ladies and gentlemen, for our viewing and audio pleasure, the fabulous Becci Wallace with Seek Me Out.
Okay, anytime.
Keep spinning around like a worried old fool. I fear I've placed my bets too soon. It's a complex design, this inner circle I rule. It's wrapped in smoke signs and cracks and smile lines. I feel a certain effect I'm pushing hard to reject. I must move quickly through. I owe that much to you. Always seek me out. If I crawl under a rock, you'll find me. And if I put you to your bed, you'll haunt me. You always lie hidden in the past behind me. Don't remind me. I've been chasing my tail a little loose with the tongue. I've held on far too tight, too far too long. But it's complex and frail, this inner circle I run. It's wrapped in guidelines and sold with star signs. You always seek me out. If I crawl under a thought, you'll bind me. And if I put you to the test, you'll fight me. You always seek me out. I lie hidden in the past behind me. Don't remind me.
Well, that was something, huh? So welcome back to the studio for Becky. That was fabulous.
Thank you.
So I think I saw a video of this song on YouTube. It was recorded a couple of years ago, aye?
Yeah, by Tommy Slack.
Tommy Slack,
Yeah.
a fabulous filmmaker.
Brilliant, a photographer and filmmaker, yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
Unfortunately, Edinburgh-based, so we won't hold that against him. But aye, very talented, great photographer, documentary maker, works with a lot of local artists.
He does indeed, and does a lot for local artists.
Puts a lot of work in, aye, doesn't he? Well, somebody's got to. Anyway, want to just talk a wee bit about that song, talk about your process. You know, does the melody come to you first? Do you sit down and write the words? Does an idea just come out the blue? How does it work for you when you actually sit down to construct your music?
Just depends. I've learned to have processes. So sometimes I'll use a tool and like a weapon almost, like a songwriting weapon. But sometimes you just sit with the guitar and you've got something you want to say and you just really want to say it and it just comes out. But a lot of the times I'll just sing vowel sounds that I think sound nice, or I'll have a melody.
Like classical music?
Yes, like some forms of classical and early synth music. So sometimes I'll just sing over vowel sounds until something lovely comes out, or maybe I've got like one line and I can feel that that's a nice turn of phrase. So then I'll base everything around that turn of phrase until I find a nice flow.
So how do you gather lyrics? Like for me, it's a mixture of the idea hits you, or it might be something you hear someone say on the bus or something like that. And I just kind of collect the ideas, and then eventually I'll feel compelled to try and pull something out of it. What about yourself? Like, do you write? Do you have notebooks, or do you use a BlackBerry?
I've got many notebooks, many notebooks. If I'm writing on the piano, I just record what's happening and then just use that vowel sound technique a lot of the time. But then day to day, obviously, I've got all my different notebooks. They're all scattered everywhere and they've got like bits in each of them. And then sometimes I'll have a line, like a piece of poetry.
Have a wee line, a cheeky wee line just to get you moving.
That keeps me going. I'll have a line in my head and then I'll adapt that in a poem. So sometimes like that. Just depends, man. Just always got little phrases turning in my head. So
I want to just talk about, you were saying UWS, so that's University West of Scotland.
Yep.
So you did a degree there.
Yep.
And then you did a master's there. So can you just talk us through that experience, some of the lecturers you worked with? Would you recommend it to any of our viewers?
Yeah. Well, I was kind of sailing around lost after a literature degree, and I didn't really know what to do, I guess, and I went and did commercial music on a whim, and I met obviously the people that run that course, so Davy Scott of the Pearl Fishers, a guy called Alan Dunbreck, who is in Big Dish, but is also a fantastic kind of academic writer, thinker and businessman, and also a guy called Al McCusker, who's a manager, and Jim Prime as well.
Jim Prime?
Jim Prime.
That's a good name, isn't it, man?
He does most of the first and second year stuff, some of the third year stuff.
So what's some of the kind of music exercises that you would do? Because there's good songs seem to come out of that.
Like, the thing about this course is these people are all people who care deeply about music, but they also care about allowing space for young people and or people of any age, but for people to generate ideas and to have space to work on their music and think about what they're doing and make good songs, you know? Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to pass judgment on chart music or anything, but there is a need out there for people to start or continue to write good songs, you know? And I think that that's what they kind of give people space to do. So the course for me was fantastic because it reminded me that it's okay to take time to write, and I think a lot of people, like that, especially creative people, don't take that time a lot of the time, and it's important.
Well, I think judging, it's really interesting to hear your insights about, you know, that there is courses out there. There are courses out there for people who want to explore that. And I would assume, as well as obviously helping artists to find their own voice, excuse the cliche, but also there's the practical element of preparing you for work in the industry, should you so desire to pursue that.
Again, it's an awareness thing. It's a course that helps generate awareness that there's more than one avenue. I think a lot of people, you know, they grow up thinking, this is what I want to do, how do I do it? It doesn't work for them and they just give up. But actually, if you want to have a career in the music industry, that can span from working in a studio to lecturing, to tutoring, to writing for others, to being a session musician. You know, there's so many different things out there. And I think people get sidetracked by that horrible kind of image of icon and image of like that media image, and they kind of forget that actually you can have a passion and you can explore and kind of project your passion without having to actually, you know, rip it apart in order to do so.
I think I understand what you mean. I'm sure a lot of people out there do too. So you've been working on an album.
Aye.
It's called Fragmentality, and there's a kind of wee catchline that comes with it, doesn't it?
Bits and bobs and travel logs.
Right. Okay. Brilliant. So do you want to just talk a wee bit about that?
I'd love to. So like all those books I was telling you about, it's kind of a collection of the books from like the last 10 years that I've been writing in. And then a lot of the times when I'm kind of going through a thing or whatever, I leave. I like to leave the country a lot and then come back. So a lot of the time I've written from a perspective of being outside this place, like being distance between the thought and the action of writing it. And so...
Hang on, you mean that there's another way of looking at the world that isn't through like a Scottish lens? Hold the phone.
It will always be through a Scottish lens. But
so you've actually got like a global perspective on life?
In a way, I guess I do.
Wow, that's just like viscerally terrifying. For someone like me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a kind of person, man, I'll fight our 10 squeet of land covered in dog shit and chewing gum because that's my bit, and I don't like going any further than where I come from. It's very scary. I'll have chips, please. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
That's all right, man.
So you just continue to talk about fragmentality?
Aye, it's just, well, it's kind of love letters in a weird way back to Glasgow. Like, everything's based on the perspective of home and what happened at home. So it's not like, what's the word I'm looking for? Ethnomusicology? Something like that.
Okay.
It's not that, right, which is when you take a sound of the place you're in and you use aspects of the culture and stuff like that to create place sounds and to replicate a culture or folk sound from that area. It's just the lyrical placement of me in these places throughout 8 to 10 years. So it kind of follows a little wave of leaving Glasgow, experiencing loss, experiencing pain, experiencing fear, inevitably regret, but also the hope and excitement of new places. And then as they fizzle out, they kind of journey slowly back home to kind of finish what you start, which is, well, if you're running away from something, you always have to face it, you know. So it kind of covers a broad spectrum of time, but with those kind of human kind of moral ideas throughout.
Brilliant. Well, I've had the pleasure of hearing a large portion of the album, which is available on Sunday.
Yeah.
The album is great. The album is really something. You can, what I take for the album, I mean, also you've got the artwork and all that, which you did a lot of, and another artist.
An artist, Jamie Lee Love. Jamie Lee, who's a fantastic artist.
That's a brilliant name, isn't it?
Jamie Lee Love. And our production company, design company, is called Love Buzz. So Jamie Lee done most of the main album artwork. She's a beautiful kind of, again, she's one of these painters or drawers that just goes from ideas. So if you give her an idea, she'll draw your idea as you speak. So she comes up with some really interesting imagery.
So this all corresponds with the album, and so later, the people are getting a full package then, aren't they? It's not just a kind of, here's a picture of me on the cover.
No, there's no picture of me on the cover, actually.
I've found my records do better when my face isn't on them, personally.
I can imagine.
Aye, I'm sure you can.
So yeah, no, it's all Jamie Lee's artwork, and Jamie Lee will actually be there on the day. She's got stills and prints of her art, so it's a kind of combination of all those things. Yeah, and it's the 29th of March. Oh, I should also say it is not genre specific, so it's just a kind of fragmentality. It's like a mess of genre and kind of all that stuff chucked in there. It's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to letting it go. It's like one of those things. I'm at the end of that wave. I want to let it go.
Aye, I can understand that. I mean, people often just hear a piece of music and they just like, they're only hearing it, so they don't realise how people kind of agonise over stuff. It can be quite an intense emotional experience.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to clarify, this is happening this Sunday.
Sunday the 29th of March.
At the Glad Cafe.
At the beautiful Glad Cafe.
In Shawlands.
Yes.
And it's £10 for a ticket.
Yes.
And for that £10, you get in a whole night of entertainment, and you also get the album half price.
Yeah, the album's a £5 on the night, so...
For 15 quid, you're getting all that?
Aye. Plus, there's a support act, Little Rach, who's a wonderful Manchester-based artist.
I saw her at Celtic Connections, actually.
You did. You saw her at Celtic Connections, and you probably saw her on STV Glasgow as well. She's lovely.
Don't know anything about
Very
STV
small.
Glasgow.
Sorry.
Don't know anything about it, man. Is that happening?
I know.
All right, cool, man. Whatever. Right. So, listen. Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I was going to take some questions. No, it's been an absolute pleasure. I was going to take some questions from the audience, but obviously I've forgotten to inform the audience that because we just want to be a real legitimate media organisation, we've been lying to your faces this whole time. So we aren't actually live. This happened ages ago. I am actually somewhere else right now, probably causing it. And Becci's actually somewhere else as well, causing it, man. But anyway, thanks for taking part in this little happening. We're just going to end the show with one more track from Becci Wallace, so I'll let introduce it before she saunters on through and gets on down.
Okay, cool. This song is called Rose Tinted Glass, and it's a song that was written around the time of September last year. So that's all I'll say. Enjoy.
Thanks, folks. Take care.
Just go.
Yeah.
Settle before the seed is woven. Lay down before your path is chosen. Breathe out before your door is opened and you run free. Oh, here stands a monument to almost everything. Oh, here by these golden sands and lavish green. I am not a statue, I am not a certainty. Oh, here by the wedding band, he stole my dream. He stole my dream. Silence is such a simple notion. Precious, virtuous, peaceful potion. Fools I've heard content with the ocean and they run free. Stop now, you know you can't control it. Somehow we always do ignore it. Feeble, the nature of the poet, but we run free. Oh, here lies the scripture from some fallen prophecy. Here by these apple trees and varnished stones. I am not an idol, I am prone to dependency. Oh, by the congregation, we stand alone. We stand alone. Here lies a monument to timeless beauty, to healing washovers and rose-tinted glass. I am not a memory, some glistening, floating entity. Oh, here by the apple tree, he stole my past. He stole my